Hello and welcome to Commodity Champions. I'm Manisha Gupta, and India is the world's largest producer of milk and milk products, contributing to 23% of the global production. And with the wedding season returning to pre-COVID levels, the demand for milk and milk products is expected to rise sharply in this quarter. Separately, Amul also has hiked prices of milk for 3 times in a year. I am now joined by R.S. Sodhi, who's Managing Director, Gujarat Cooperative Milk Marketing Federation, otherwise known as Amul, to understand on what's driving demand for milk and for Amul as a company. Mr. Sodhi, hi, thank you so much for joining us here on CNBC-TV18. The first question clearly is about the milk prices, where we have seen 3 to 4 price hikes in this year for various companies, by companies, and in various states as well. One, what has led to that, and what is the total quantum of price rise, and is it just an aberration, or this is a pattern being set that we can expect in milk prices going forward?
What price increase or the milk or food inflation you're talking? First of all, let me clarify. See, what you see price increase for the rural urban consumer, it is the increase in income for the rural producer. I think we all are interested that prosperity in rural economy also increases vis-a-vis urban India. Now coming to the actual figure, present status, you are right, in last 1.5 years or more than that, we have taken 3 price increase. But if you see compared to last 1 year, price increase in milk and milk product is around 8%. Which is lowest in the world. The developed economy like USA, Europe, or other Southeast countries, milk prices have increased from 10-12% to 30, 40, or 50%. And that in India, it is the most stable. But I think that is mainly because of increase in the input cost. And second, the other side is increase in demand. And all over world, demand for milk and milk products are increasing, especially for the branded and the packed milk products.
Oh, well, absolutely. But the kind of rise that we've seen, even as it is lesser than the global markets, do you see the price sensitivity at all impacting the household consumption, or that continues to grow?
It is not only lower price increase compared to world, but lowest price increase in all the food basket of consumer. You can see whether the cereal, wheat, paddy, edible oil, or the poultry, or the meat, anything you take, price increase more than the milk. First thing is that. As far as coming the demand is concerned, let me tell you, we are having never before tremendous volume growth. Reason is simple. Last 2 years, first is consumer shifted more towards branded organized sector. But second, after 2 years, COVID is over. Now demand for Horeca and the marriages and the festival is tremendous. And because everybody is consuming more. And because milk and milk products are most affordable source of food, nutritious food, and tasty too. And I don't see in coming future there is any decline in demand for milk and milk products, and I expect in organized branded products this year, volume growth will be minimum 10 to 12%, and if you add the price increase, so you can say around 18 to 19% minimum growth in the business of all the dairy companies.
Oh, well, absolutely. That's what ICRA also says, that 12 to 14% of our revenue growth is what they're anticipating as well into the dairy sector this time around. But category-wise, what is your sense on the demand growth that's going to come in from households vis-a-vis the Horeca sector?
Well, the household is growing at the average rate of 8 to 9% as far as the concern. But Horeca is multiplied. I can say 2x or 3x compared to the previous 2 years, and much more than the pre-COVID. Horeca, everywhere consumers are buying more and more, because in each meal, dairy products or milk products are there.
There's a major debate that continues on that even as India is a major producer of milk, our per capita consumption isn't where we want it to be. The global consumption is still on the higher side. So what kind of growth have you seen there this year or year-on-year in comparison?
India is not only today world's largest producer of milk, but also world's largest and fastest growing market. And if you see, every 25 years, our production is multiplying 3x and also the demand. So today, if we are contributing 23% of world milk production, the way we have grown in the last 15 or 25 years, even less than that rate, we'll be producing around 650 million metric tons, 3 times more, which will be 45% to the world milk production. And per capita, about 50 years back, it was 110 gram per person per today. Today, it is 420. And another 25 years, we expect it to grow to 820 gram per person per day, matching to the most developed rich dairy companies. Already we are around 35% higher than the average per capita milk consumption.
All right, those are big numbers there clearly. So currently India produces 23% of the global milk, but 45% is where we seem to be heading right now. Mr. Sodhi, also we are in the midst of the wedding season. The festival season has been great as well. What category do you see maximum growth coming in from? Milk for one would be for sure, but when you look at sweets, cream, cheese, Amul does a lot of that too. Chocolates also are a big part of your portfolio. Where are you looking at the biggest growth and demand coming in from?
Any festivals coming especially from October to January, because these are the months not only for festivals but also for marriages and also good weather condition to consume more milk and milk products. So demand increases. But this time, if earlier it used to be X, this time it is 2X growth is coming. And it is coming from all the categories. Maybe in case of fresh product, milk, etc., it may be 8 to 10% more than the previous festival season. But in categories like cheese, in categories like ice creams, in categories like flavored milk, in categories like paneer, the volume growth is double than the average. And I think in coming years, India is going to have maximum growth in these value-added products, but more towards fresh products like sweets, paneer, curd, etc., and more of out-of-home consumption milk and milk products like ice creams and flavored milk.
Oh, well, absolutely. All products, dairy and sweets and desserts clearly are in demand and flavor of the season as well. Mr. Sodhi, what is the preparation that you're doing for that? I mean, you do keep launching a lot of products on a monthly basis as well. Newer products, newer flavors, packaging, etc. So what can we look at? What is in the pipeline from here on?
It's a continuous process, introducing new products, new variants, new packing. So every month, two over there. But I tell you, in the coming 1 year, we are going to more emphasis on these sweets. We have got 90 dairy plants all over India. We want each plant to produce fresh sweets for the local market, be it barfi, peda, milk cake, gulab jamun, kheer, rabdi for the local market. These are the going to products which we are going to launch more and more as a fresh. Besides that, in ice cream, in flavored milk, we are going to launch new variants. But more than the milk products, which we are now putting tremendous focus is on organizing and marketing of organic products of the small produce. So already we have launched in select markets of India around 8 organic products, and in every week or every month we are adding 1 or 2 more. So I think in the coming times, Amul will be the major player in marketing of organic products, be it atta, rice, pulses, spices, or other, and where we'll be joining the small organic producers all over India and also helping the existing organic FPOs and cooperatives to provide them the marketing assets as well as the testing facilities.
All right, Mr. Suri, that's quite a shift from dairy and bakery and chocolates, moving away to organic pulses and atta and spices, as you mentioned. So, as you said, there are 8 organic products that you have launched until now. What states have these been launched in? What is the kind of growth that you're looking at? Are any targets that are being fixed here as well? And also, what is the kind of margin premium that you are looking at vis-a-vis the other competitors into the space? What is the overall organic market in India that stands right now?
But you see, organic is a very, very small and niche market today in India. Total organic product market for food is around less than 2,000 crore. And it is growing at the rate of 25 to 30% volume basis every year. But to accelerate it, what is required, like we have done in the milk, provide good price to the producer so they are encouraged to produce more, and provide organic products to the consumer at affordable price. Today, it is sold at a premium of 100%. So naturally, very few consumers will shift from the general category to the organic products. But if same product is priced 20, 30% extra, so I think a lot of consumers will shift from the normal food to the organic food. Similarly, a farmer will produce more if he is getting 50 to 20% or 25% more than the normal produce. So we have to see how these two are taken care by reducing the supply chain inefficiencies. And more than that, what we have seen is lacking in today's consumer trust in organic products. Because, and they don't know whether what mentioned on the pack is actually organic or not organic. And I think when the big brands like Amul come into this field, the trust on organic products will increase. And I'm very happy that the government of India, especially our Home Minister and Corporation Minister Amit Shah, is putting very much focus on this category to develop so that India should become pesticide-free and fertilizer-free country.
All right, so that's a new foray clearly coming in, organic products, and 8 of them already being launched, and whether it's atta, pulses, spices, all of that on Amul's radar as well. Thank you, Mr. Suri, so much for joining us. So as he said that the wedding season demand for dairy and dairy products is quite on the higher side. The milk could see 8 to 10% of a jump up in demand as compared to last year in this quarter. And as far as some things like mithai, cream, paneer, cheese, all of that goes, that perhaps could be nearly 40% on the higher side, so much higher than the pre-COVID levels as well, is how we're looking at the Indian dairy demand this festival season. On that note, it's time for a short break, but a discussion with Suvankar Sen on Senco Gold on jewelry buying this festival season on this other side. Welcome back. And the big fat Indian wedding clearly is back after 2 years, and the demand for jewelry is estimated to rise 10 to 12% higher than pre-COVID levels. Jewelry accounts for 15 to 20% of the wedding budgets. India is the second largest producer of gold in the world and accounts for nearly 27% of global gold consumption, according to World Gold Council. 50% demand for gold in India comes in from weddings. To understand how the key wedding trends and the demand for gold, I am now joined by Suvankar Sen, Managing Director and CEO at Senco Gold. Mr. Sen, hi, thank you so much for joining us. We are in the midst of the wedding season, and this time around, it is touted that we are looking at some record weddings from now until the month of Feb. So what is the wedding demand looking like? What are the trends? And now, since we've seen a month go by already, how are you as a market player really calculating or gauging this market?
So what we are seeing right now is that the consumers are, already out in the market, kind of jewelry that they would like to buy for their weddings. However, in order to finalize and pay the amount and fix the price, I think because of the sudden increase in the gold price that we have seen over the last 10 to 15 days, they are in a wait and watch situation. So in terms of the designs, they are in a selection mode, but in terms of the final purchase, I think they are waiting that if there is any kind of correction that they would see in the gold prices, and accordingly buy the final piece of jewelry. So this is how we are looking at the consumer behavior at the ground level.
So, Mr. Sen, what geographies do you see doing well? I mean, we do understand that it is pan-India, but is there an area or state that seems to be doing better than the other? Because South India is known to buy the maximum jewelry. Then comes North India, and then it's West. I mean, are we still, ranking it like that?
I don't think that it is a very one area or one state that is doing well. We are well aware that, if you divide the market of India, around 35 to 40% is South India, 25% odd is the north and the western part, and about 15 to 20% is what is left with the eastern part of the country. So this is how it's divided. But when you see the trend that we see, it is happening all across the country. The winter weddings is I think, more of a fashion that we see in the northern part of the country. So your North Indian states, the East Indian states, or the West Indian states are having a higher and a bigger traction.
Mr. Sen, then what is the ticket size that you see of jewelry buying as of now? What's an average that a household is spending on the wedding right now? And how are you calculating these numbers as compared to the last year and pre-COVID levels?
So based on the capacity that the consumer have, we are seeing various kinds of consumers. There is a consumer who has a budget of, say, 5 lakhs to 10 lakhs of rupees for the wedding of the daughter. So that is one kind of consumer. The one we are seeing in the smaller towns and the rural, semi-rural areas, there the consumer is there with a 3 lakh to 5 lakh kind of a ticket size for the wedding of the daughter. And then in the bigger cities, there are high ticket size consumers who are buying all kinds of jewelry at 20 lakhs or so kind of a ticket size. So the budgets have been varied as per the area of the particular country that we are in and the state that we are in. And what we are seeing is that there are two particular kind of consumers very clearly in the market. There is one kind where budget is not a constraint and the bride is trying to look for a statement piece, a very royal look, and adorning herself with a big piece of necklace and mantika and earrings and big bangles. So that is one kind of a bride. And there is another kind of a bride we are looking at, which is a very practical approach bride, where they would like to buy the jewelry, but they are kind of adorning themselves in layers. So there is a small choker and then a necklace and then a long set, and dividing the budget into multiple pieces of jewelry so that in the future they can wear it at various occasions. So we are very clear and trying to cater to both the needs and accordingly putting the jewelry for the wedding season.
All right, another sector which is looking at a very strong demand coming in, so 10 to 12% higher as compared to previous year. But are you picking up any trends, as compared to last year? Because last year was a very good spend for the industry as well. So whether it was diamonds, polki, silver, we saw all of that doing quite well. What are the comparisons that you're making? Are you still comparing to pre-COVID levels as well? And how do we stack up as compared to last year and pre-COVID for jewelry as a sector?
So there are very interesting two things happening. One is that the number of weddings is going to go up. So that way we are seeing more customers coming to buy the wedding jewelry. But unlike last year and the year before that, when the budgets that the individual had on the weddings, the spending on the peripheral, in terms of the big fat Indian wedding wasn't happening and people were buying more of jewelry. But this year, the number of weddings have gone up, but we could clearly see that the budgets for the jewelry in the weddings have come down comparatively because the other expenses are there. Overall, there is a sentiment of, making sure that you don't overspend. And that is where the ticket sizes have come down, but the number of weddings have gone up. So if we really compare, we are not looking at a very high growth. We are looking at a very realistic growth of 10-12% over last year. And if we really compare to the pre-COVID levels for the industry, that has already been achieved in the last year itself. So it is only a growth we are seeing on top of the last year. This is how we are looking at it.
All right. So the ticket size has come down. That means the spend is lower, but there are more weddings. So in that sense, there is higher spend there. We also assume that when it is wedding, it's not all jewelry that is being bought. People get their old ones out. They add some more to that. Some of it is totally exchange jewelry also. So it's not all new jewelry buying. So how do you sum that up? What is the total of all of that?
So we are seeing that the old gold exchange that the consumers are coming is approximately 25 to 30%, and consumers are coming. There are offers that are being given to the consumer in terms of 0% deduction on the old gold that they are bringing in, so that they can buy new designs and they bring the old heirloom family jewelry and exchanging for the new ones. So that range is about 25 to 30% that we see in the consumer bringing in the old jewelry.
Okay. So what is the overall spend that you are expecting this time? What are the wedding choices people are making this year as well?
So the wedding choices that they are making this year is that, it is the era of Instagram, the era of the digital photography. So people are very much focused on the areas in which it is visible on camera. So you talk of the variety designs of necklaces, the big statement chokers, elaborate earrings, adorning with a mantika or a tiara. So therefore, they want to dress up as a queen and then dress up on the upper part of the body. If we look at the rings and the bangles, compare it to the necklace, they are a little less in demand, but it's the variety of necklaces and earrings that are more in trend. And we could see it could be gold jewelry, it could be polkis with polki diamonds or diamond jewelry, the various occasions. So consumer is wanting variety, and for the various occasions of the wedding, they're wanting various kinds of jewelry. So that is another trend that we are looking at from the consumer perspective.
All right, so the gold prices are higher as compared to last year. Diamond price is almost 30% higher as compared to last year. So that is the reason the ticket size is smaller. People are buying lesser jewelry, but the weddings are higher, so that number is higher. And as he said, as a realistic level, 10 to 14% of a jump up in jewelry buying as compared to last year is still what the markets are anticipating. But remember, 25 to 30% of that jewelry buying is still an exchange jewelry. People are going with their old gold and exchanging it for new. So that's a lot of market happening there. Mr. Sen, thank you so much for joining us. Well, that's what's happening in the big fat Indian wedding. But with that, it's a wrap on this edition of Commodity Champions. Thank you for watching.